Is Chefs de France the best restaurant in all of Epcot?
Let's eat.
Hello everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sam.
And you're watching the Theme Park Foodies. We're back here at Epcot for part one of our 5-part series where we dine in our top 5 favorite Epcot restaurants to see which is the best. If you've seen our channel previously, you'll know we actually have 2 other series like this. We did one recently at Magic Kingdom and found out the best restaurant there was Jungle Skipper Canteen. Now we're here to do it at Epcot. We've also done it at the Walt Disney World Resort, so check out our playlist if you're interested in seeing some of our favorite restaurants. There are 5 restaurants on this list. Obviously, this is going to be the video on Chefs de France. We are also going to dine at Le Sayre, Space 220, La Hacienda,
and Shiki Sai.
Those are our top 5 favorites. Notable restaurants that aren't on this list: the Beer Garden restaurant. Our criteria is that it has to be table service. Unfortunately, Beer Garden is more, it's kind of table service, but it's more of a buffet, plus you have the show, so it's working, I feel like, at a different advantage, but we do love the Beer Garden restaurant over in Germany. Other restaurants that are kind of table service but not on this list are Monsieur Paul and Takumi Te. I just feel like the financial barrier for entry on those restaurants is too high, right?
Yeah, I think Monsieur Paul is like almost $200 a person or something. So
yeah.
That's a little...
So we wanted to, I mean, all these restaurants are expensive, but we wanted to be able to pick restaurants that are going to be accessible to the average guest. This particular restaurant, Sam, we haven't dined at since our very first couples trip to Disney World.
In 2017.
This is actually the first Epcot restaurant we ever had dinner at.
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit of nostalgia for us with this restaurant, but I still do think that it has a great reputation. So hopefully it holds up. I don't know where it's gonna land on the list. But
I'm very interested as well, because my palate was definitely a lot less refined, but I remember loving it. Also, we never went back though, so I'm wondering really like how good is it?
Yeah, I also do remember that we ordered 3 desserts and our server was like appalled. He was just like, "Are you sure?" And we're like, "Yeah."
That's my French etiquette. 3 desserts. We made our own dessert trio. I think they do have a prefix menu option as well as a la carte options. We're going to go over the whole menu. We're going to go over how to get there. They're obviously in the France Pavilion. Over here, or France, I should say, Pavilion. Over here at Epcot and Epcot's World Showcase. We're right here at the front in your Spaceship Earth. I'm really hungry. You ready, Sam?
I'm ready.
All right, if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. Join us for a romantic dinner in Paris here at Epcot. All right, so to get to Chefs de France, if you are coming from the entrance of Epcot, you'll make a right at Spaceship Earth. You actually probably go left or right, and you'll go straight through the Celebration Gardens and straight down to World Showcase. As you get to World Showcase, the quickest way is going to be to bear right through Canada. You'll actually see another restaurant on this list.
Le Cellier.
Yes, and you'll pass Le Cellier. You're going to go through the UK Pavilion. When you get to the end of the UK Pavilion, you'll actually have to bear left, and after you bear left to the UK Pavilion, you'll head over a bridge and you'll see the Eiffel Tower calling to you, and Chefs de France right to the left as you walk up. Right above Chefs de France is Monsieur Paul. So Monsieur Paul is actually on the 2nd level. Haven't heard that great of reviews for Monsieur Paul. You actually check in for them towards the back of Chefs de France, right near Les Halls. Chefs de France has huge open windows. You can see some of the fireworks from those windows. You can't see the lagoon though, so you can't see kind of everything. We have had fireworks views here previously. And
it is supposed to be, like a Parisian cafe. It does look very bright in there. I thought that last time we dined there it was very dark, but it looks like it's very well lit.
All right, so we checked in right at the front and we got seated pretty quickly. As we walked in, you could tell they have like tile flooring in here towards like these sunrooms. So very nice ceilings, but also very loud. If you are looking for stroller parking, it's right to the left of the check-in desk. All right, the menu is actually paper right in front of you, so let's break this down. All right, so first thing you'll see to the left are the appetizers, of course. Gotta have escargot if you're a French restaurant. They also have a French onion soup, a green salad, a salad with baked goat cheese, and a smoked salmon spread. For your entrees, you have a Gulf shrimp sea scallop spinach pastry with creamy lobster sauce, a seared salmon with rice pilaf. We also have a macaroni baked with cream and Gruyere. Ooh, that sounds really good. A ratatouille, a braised pork shank, herb-crusted all-natural half chicken, braised beef, and a cabernet. That sounds really good. Some steak frites. And imported cheeses and charcuterie. You can see here to the right the prefix menu. So for the prefix menu, you get one of any of the appetizers on there. For the entrees, you only get one of these selected options right here, and then you get one of any dessert. You also get a wine and or non-alcoholic beverage, which I think is a pretty solid deal. $67.95, you know, pretty good deal. Obviously, here in France, they like to drink, so they have all these different little cocktails and house specialties that you can get. If you want to see the wines, they're to the right up here. You actually see all their wine selections on display to the right as you walk in. Sparkling champagne, white wine. I'm not even going to try to say some of these, but you can see the rosé, the red wines. For desserts, we have a creme brulee, a 3-layered chocolate mousse cake, a sweet cream puff filled with vanilla ice cream. That sounds good. Citrus cake, strawberry lime cream and berry compote, and a coffee sponge. I know Sam's looking at this one. Coffee sponge, coffee whipped cream, chocolate ganache, and vanilla ice cream, as well as some more assorted sorbets. If you guys have watched this before, you know I love a bread service, and Chefs de France has a pretty on-point bread service. You get a fresh, warm baguette with salted butter. I am enjoying the service here as well as kind of the atmosphere, but it's very loud, and I do feel like this is going to be like 4 or 5 on our list at the end, but we'll see. We'll see.
I love baguettes, but I always feel like it's so awkward, like because you have to like rip it. Thank you. You have to like rip it apart, and like, I mean, obviously Jason doesn't care if my hands are all over the bread, but you know. We
always wash our hands before, guys, so.
It's like the most lady-like thing I feel like to eat. The butter is not so soft. Maybe the warm bread will melt it.
I would have opened the bread up and put it in the center to melt it.
I'm very nervous right now. Like, it's very crowded. We're like sandwiched in between 2 tables. My anxiety is flowing right now. The bread is very good. It has an amazing crust. It's soft on the inside. It's super toasty warm. The butter is pretty basic. I do like the sea salt on top, but it's nothing like out of this world. I'm gonna give it a 7.
All right, so 7 is still pretty good. It's still above average. I'm gonna try it without the butter first. I just want to see how the bread itself is. It's very warm. It's good. I'm not blown away, but it's good. This would be good for the soup. You got a French onion soup, Sam? I feel like you're gonna dip this in here, make it real good. All right, let's get some butter in here. Good crust. I like the interior. You can see all of the little perforated like holes in there. The butter's okay. The salt on top like elevates it a bit. The baguette itself is what shines. Can't go 8. I think I'm gonna agree with your 7, Sam. It's a solid bread service. Definitely meets the theme of the area. But I think you gotta, if it's cold today too, so you gotta get the soup and dip it in the soup. I'm excited to do that. All right, so I got the prefix menu when it comes to the drink. I would definitely recommend getting one of the wines. You're at a French restaurant. I worked all day though. I don't really want to have a drink right now, so I got the Shirley Temple. I'm getting my 7-year-old on and getting the Shirley Temple. The drink they apparently made for the famous actress Shirley Temple because she was too young to drink. I'm sure you guys know what's in this. I feel like a Shirley Temple would be an American drink, right? It's basic. You get the cherry though. That's the best part. It's a well-made Shirley Temple. I'm going to go 6. It's good. I'm happy it comes with a prefix. All right, so I'm not going to try to pronounce the proper French names for all of these because I'm going to butcher them, but it's a casserole of Burgundian escargot baked in parsley and garlic butter. You can actually see they have a little escargot fork, and there's some puff pastry on top. Escargot is the flavor of France, and I actually enjoy me a good snail every now and then. For those who don't know, escargot is snails. I'm sure these are farm snails. No, they're not snails from the wild. Let's try it out. That's straight up good. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect the escargot to slap at all. I thought it would be like very basic. With escargot, because it comes in that kind of garlic butter, it's always good to have a baguette to dip it in. I'm actually going to make a little escargot sandwich right now if you guys want to watch. I like to take that, like stick it right here. A little escargot sandwich, dip that right in the butter.
I feel like French people don't do that.
Well, then it's a good thing I'm not French. That's really good. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. You get a very light garlicness. The thing with escargot is sometimes they go very garlic heavy because escargot itself is more so a cuisine that's based off of texture. The snail texture is something that's unusual, and it's a great vehicle for different forms of flavor, like butter and garlic. Well-made snails, I've had more delicate escargot previously, obviously a bit higher quality, but this is much better than I had anticipated. The butter and the garlic don't overpower the dish, which oftentimes happens. I like the little puff pastry on top as well. Great. I'm willing to go 7. I think it is a solid, above average escargot. Is there escargot that's better? Yes, but I think for Disney at a restaurant like this, they did very well. Look at that beautiful French onion soup, Sam. It definitely looks like a bit more elevated than a Long Island diner. I think this also has Gruyere cheese in it, right?
Yes, I hope it's better than Beer Guests. I didn't love Beer Guests. Remember?
Yeah, I didn't think theirs was that great. It was okay, but this, I think theirs also had Gruyere cheese in it. This one has a little lion head right on it, and I feel like you always have to use a knife for these.
I'm trying to be careful though because the cup is very like filled to the top, so if I move anything around, like it's gonna spill out. I think I got a good bite. So much better than Beer Guest. The Beer Guest one was just like pure salt to me. This is like not overly salty. The Gruyere is like in my top 3 cheeses. It's so good. The Gruyere's creamy. It's like a slight nuttiness to the cheese. Tons of onions, and like they did not skimp me out on this bowl. Like it is filled to the brim. I'm gonna give this an 8.
Ooh, nice. Great Gruyere. Good stuff, good stuff. Sam was kind and allowed me to have some of her French onion soup. I am a connoisseur of Long Island diner French onion soup. Some rando in the comments got very mad at me for saying that Long Island diners have good French onion soup. But if you know if you're from Long Island, you know that those little crock pots of French onion soup are the best. I had to see how good this is for myself. And 8 is quite a high number, Sam. Good oniony flavor. And like I said, you gotta get a little bread to dip it in. You have to absorb all that juice. Look at that. I feel like I'm home. It's not France. It's Long Island at a diner. This is really good, Sam. On par, if not definitely better. This is better than Long Island diner's French onion soup. Love the Gruyere. It's not too salty. Onion flavor comes through, but isn't overpowering. Good texture with this soggy bread right on top of what you want in French onion soup. And it's nice looking. Look at that little lion, man. Just greeting you, letting you eat his delicious soup out of his head. I'm gonna go with your 8. It's great. I would definitely recommend getting this. All right, so dinner has been served, and Sam, you got the steak frites. This comes with a grilled strip loin, French fries, and a béarnaise sauce.
It did used to be a filet, I believe, and they changed it to a strip loin.
Strip loin is a bit more cost-effective, I would say, than a filet, but I think strip loin does usually go with a steak frite. The fries look pretty basic in my opinion, but they do have a nice seasoning on them. Sam, you got medium rare. Is it medium rare?
Yeah, it's pretty rare. Pretty medium. It's a thick piece. I got some béarnaise sauce, so I wanted to get this because I wanted to compare it to Flying Fish's New York strip, but the béarnaise sauce was just like my favorite steak on property. But just on looks, I don't think it's going to beat it. I'm gonna dip in the sauce. It's tender, it's juicy, but it tastes pretty average. Like it tastes like, I hate to say this, but I feel like it tastes like something I can get at like Applebee's or Chili's, those kind of steaks.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Like it doesn't, the béarnaise sauce is good, nice and buttery, but I mean for the price that you're paying, so this was $55, so I think that's overpriced for what it is.
I would agree, and the fries to me look basic. They don't look hand cut. Maybe they are.
They used to be. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Well, it sounds like they should be going back to the filet.
I'm factoring in the price though. Like I do think it tastes good, but I don't think it tastes like I'm in a fancy restaurant good.
All right, Sam, let me have a little taste of her steak. And by I mean I took the thing and placed it over towards me. Okay, so definitely looking medium rare to me. Get a little bit of your béarnaise sauce. It's a well-cooked strip loin, and the fries taste good, but they're basic. The béarnaise sauce is super basic. I think it's very weak, honestly, the béarnaise sauce. The strip loin is well made, not very seasoned because they're expecting you to dip it in the béarnaise sauce. Cut of steak is good. The fries are, I mean, there's no way in my mind these aren't pre-frozen. You know, that looks like something you get out of a bag. I'm gonna agree with your 6. It's solid, it's good, but I don't think it's worth 55 bucks. All right, so I got the beef bourguignon. I think I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. Braised beef in a cabernet, pearl onions, carrots, mushrooms, and linguine pasta. Our waiter said this is the best thing on the menu, and this is what people come back for. So I'm gonna go mix this in this pasta a little bit. Big cuts of steak. It looks almost soupy. So I guess I gotta get a little bit of, they give you a spoon. I guess you need to like ladle some of this on. Oh, the beef, look how tender that beef is. It's just breaking right apart. It's been sitting in this soup. Look how hot and warm it is. The linguine's pretty standard, but this is far and away much better than your steak, Sam. It's so tender. The meat just breaks apart so easily. The linguine adds like a good carbohydrate, like center everything, and it's very soupy. It's almost like a pot roast that Mom used to make, but like higher quality. But I'm gonna give this an 8. It's the winner of the entrees for sure. All right, dessert has been served. Sam got the, how do you pronounce it, Sam? Gâteau opera?
It's opera, I believe.
And it's a coffee sponge, coffee whipped cream, chocolate ganache, and vanilla ice cream. We took so many pictures, the vanilla ice cream's already melting. But look at that sponge cake. It's very spongy on there. You see all the perforated holes.
It looks good. All whipped cream should be coffee whipped cream. I really do feel like I'm seeing a lot of more coffee desserts in Disney. I feel like every time I go somewhere, there's at least one coffee dessert option, right?
Yeah, they probably realize they're pretty popular.
That's a pretty strong coffee flavor. The cake is like spongy.
Is it bitter at all?
Yeah, no, it is bitter. It is. It's not my favorite though. There's something about it that.
Well, the French love their coffee, so I feel like it would make sense for them to have a coffee with dessert.
I think it's just like the texture of the sponge cake that I don't necessarily love with a coffee flavor. I like it mixed with the ganache. I think chocolate ganache and coffee is, a good pairing. I think it is 7.
All right, 7's still pretty solid. All right, I usually don't have coffee desserts at night because it prevents me from sleeping well, but when in France, let's try it out. It's a little latte-ish to me. Obviously you have the cream in there, so it makes it more milky.
That's come from the coffee whipped cream. I don't love the texture of the cake.
Yeah. Tastes like you're eating a legitimate sponge.
Like I like the flavor because I like coffee, but I don't love the texture.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan. I'm gonna go 5. Not something I would get again. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it's very middle of the road in my opinion due to the texture of the sponge cake. Maybe I'm not a sponge cake fan. I think I am, but at least this sponge cake I'm not a huge fan of. All right, so for my dessert, I got the 3-layered chocolate mousse cake with vanilla ice cream. The vanilla ice cream's already half melted because we've been filming, taking pictures and stuff. But mousse cake sounds pretty good to me.
I feel like it got a lot smaller than it was last time.
Well, that was back in 2017, and shrinkflation has definitely hit since then.
The top is so good.
Do you think my dessert's the winner?
Yours is good. I think the top is the best part, though. I thought it was going to be like gelatinous the way it looked, but it's not. The cake is okay. It's not as rich as I thought it was going to be. And it's not too sweet either. I'm going to give it a 6.
All right, well, so you ranked it lower than yours. So you gave yours a 7.
I really like the coffee flavor in that one. This one, like, the top is good, but I feel like the cake is just not.
I like when there's like a little shank of chocolate in there. And I love these little chocolates because they're very thin, so they don't ruin kind of the texture of the dish. They kind of melt in your mouth. Try the actual cake out. To me, that's way better than yours. But that's my opinion. I like the bitter flavor of the chocolate mousse. There's all different textures in there because you have kind of this like cakiness bottom, then you have the mousse on top, and you have the ganache that surrounds it, which adds more like bitter, smooth flavors to it.
It's not sweet. I thought it's not very sweet, right?
Which is what I like. I still don't think it's amazing, but it's good. I'm gonna go 7 with this. I went 5 with yours, so I'm gonna go 7 with this.
I feel like you're very defensive about your dessert.
I like my dessert. All right, so that is it for our time dining at Chefs de France here over in the France Pavilion of World Showcase at Epcot. I don't think it's going to be in the top 3. I can see this being a 4 or 5er. I do have some great nostalgic memories in there. I love the way the interior is decorated, like there's a lot of texture kind of in the ceiling, in the incandescent lighting. Our server was amazing. Great service, right?
Yeah, no, we love him, and he's only been there for 2 months. You wouldn't be able to tell it. He does have prior restaurant experience, obviously, but he knew his stuff.
Yeah.
His recommendations were great. Everything he recommended for Jay really loved.
Yeah. The restaurant itself is a little loud. I'm sure you guys could have realized that while we were in there, which takes away from the atmosphere of the ambiance. This is kind of one of those like mass kind of restaurants they have here at Disney, and it's very popular because Disney is known for its French food, or Disneyland kind of popularized that. It was solid, but I don't think particularly great. I do think I've had better experiences at Le Cellier. I do think I've had better experiences, especially last time at Space 220. And I think that it could possibly even be under Via Napoli, although I do think it kind of beats it out of my mind. What do you think? Via Napoli didn't make our top 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's better than Via Napoli.
Okay.
I thought the service, I really loved the French onion soup.
Yes, the French onion soup there is great. Also, my entree was really good. It's very tender, falls apart. It's a little chilly out, so I feel like the soups are the way to go in there. Desserts were pretty solid. I'm really happy we went back, though. We haven't been there since 2017, and it was really nostalgic to be there. We do think it's a really fun restaurant, especially if you want to try out some French food, you know?
Yeah, I would come back.
Definitely. And what's the next one up, Sam?
I think Le Cellier.
Le Cellier.
I got so many reservations in my app. I keep track of them.
All right, well, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Liking will really help our channel grow. It pushes this video out into the stratosphere of the YouTube algorithm. It helps other people find the video. Subscribing, it also helps our channel grow. Hit the bell notification so that way you're notified every time when videos come out, which is when, Sam?
Every Monday and Thursday at 12 p.m.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't count the days.
Make the days count.
We will see you next time. That's all, folks. Okay, so we're filming this actually after we ate a cheeky side, not Chef's de France, because we forgot to film an outro when we were at Chef's de France.
It's been a few days since Chef's de France.
So if you're into this series, the next video is going to be on Shiki Sai. Spoiler, we had a great meal. We won't tell you which one we think was better just yet. But I do enjoy the people and the experience at Chef's de France. It's just a nostalgic restaurant, I think, for us, because it was the first place we ate at or dined at Epcot.
And I feel like people love it. That place is always packed out. Every time I walk by there, there's like a line out the door.
It does have a huge, long line, long wait. I will say the 3 restaurants that we've been debating, like on what to put on this video, were La Hacienda San Angel Inn, Chef's de France, and Via Napoli. I just feel like as good Italian folk, we can't put Via Napoli on this list, but I know you guys love it. We're probably gonna get some comments saying why not Via Napoli.
I like Via Napoli, but I didn't want it on the list. And
it's not for me. Yeah, it's not for us. But if you like pizza, it's pretty solid pizza. We're from New York, so we're pizza snobs. The people you see scrolling up on the screen, those are our members. I want to give a special thank you to them and their generosity for helping us fund this channel. If you have any interest in a membership, we do have tiers as low as $1.99 a month with differing perks like early access to videos and credits credentials like you're seeing right now. If you want to learn more about our membership program, check out the join button below. You'll be able to see all those perks and tiers, different offerings. But we also just want to give a special thank you to you and every single one of you who like, comment, subscribe, engage with these videos in any way. It helps push them out there, helps more people find them. And actually see the fireworks going off there right now. We feel very privileged to be able to make these videos. We know we're very lucky to be in these parks consistently. And as always,
keep it going for Frank.